Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye. Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mark from Solo Games, and what did you expect? Today is July the 11th, which is also Amazon's Prime Day. So, of course, this is basically the day for Wizard of the Coast to go dump a bunch of products onto Amazon at ridiculous prices, undercut everybody, distribution, LGSs, pretty much anybody. And then be able to just, pat themselves on the back that they earn a bunch of money. Look how much we, earn from basically, crapping out paper and then trading that for actual other paper that's worth more money. The green paper. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so Amazon has had its Prime Day. Day one is done. I think there's another day tomorrow. And I mean, I kind of told you guys this was going to happen, and it's pretty obvious now. So the first thing we understand is that there's been crazy deals, right? And I actually thought for a long time that we're done with dumping like Crimson Vow and Midnight Hunt from, what is that, 2021, 2020? It's like 2 years, right? Or 3 years now? But apparently we're still not done. There's more Crimson Vow and Midnight Hunt. Midnight Hunt was dumped at 101, and Crimson Vow I think was 107. Again, plus tax and shipping if you don't have Prime. Obviously, if you have Prime or you have the Prime Store card, you might get like up to 7% cash back if you do the delay shipping stuff. There's a lot of different ways you can kind of finagle this to basically get it so that it's tax free for you effectively. So let's just use those numbers, tax free, assuming you're making the best effort to get the best deal, right? So Midnight Hunt 101, Crimson Vow 107, right? What's kind of interesting on the dump list is there's also Infinity, crappy product, dumped at 134 for the collector's boosters. I think pretty much for that product, you could essentially just open up like packs until you get the little, whatever, space foils, and then throw away the rest of the cards. You're pretty much going to be fine, right? That's what you're hunting for anyways. Space foil, basic lands, throw away the rest of the cards is what Infinity is worth. And then, of course, surprisingly, maybe not so surprisingly, Dominaria Remastered is dumped at 111 plus tax. I mean, just so everyone understands, I know a lot of you guys don't look at distribution pricing. All of these prices are under distribution. In fact, it's pretty drastically under distribution. As an example, Dominaria Remastered depends again on which distribution you're talking to and what kind of special deals you may have with them. Different stores, of course, have different price points. These are kind of custom, but in general, the average price is around that 150 range, 160-ish, that 150, 160 range, right? Well, stores are getting it for 150, let's say, right? And of course, that's what they paid plus the 3%, if they're using credit card, whatever, plus whatever the shipping would be, $10, let's say. And Amazon's selling that directly to the consumers at 111. So you can see why LGSs can't make money, right? So if you're LGS and you believe in Wizard of the Coast and you believe in their product, that they were making good products, you buy this stuff early on, and you're like, let's say January this year, you buy all this stuff. In fact, you don't even buy January. You probably bought all this stuff last year, right? Like November, December during Magic 30 meltdowns. You pre-ordered Dominaria Remastered. You put all that stuff on your shelf or whatever once it arrived and try to sell. Of course, in the beginning, it did do pretty well. The reprints are good. But, over time, people get bored of it. But also, there's a new set releasing in like a month. So, Phyrexia All We Won pretty much like dominated. I mean, who wants to draft Dominaria Remastered when Phyrexia All We Won is already present? And of course, this DMR situation is also reprinted or printed a lot, of quantity, which is why it's appearing on Amazon for 111, right? 111, just so you understand, is not the price that you normally would see a powerful remaster set. It's what you would see for a standard draft booster, right? So obviously this price is ridiculous. Now, if you're LGS and you bought in at 150, let's say you got a good deal, 140, well, you're sitting on a bunch of inventory that's at 140 when Amazon's dumping this lower than what you paid distribution. So what customer is going to walk in there and be willing to pay for a booster pack at a certain price if they could just go to Amazon and buy pretty much infinite copies, right? I think this one is limited at 3. So there's that. Another surprising one, and I feel like I want to say I told you so, but I mean, at this point, you guys don't even believe me if I say that, right? I remember when I first talked about Brothers War last year, and I was like, guys, like, Brothers War, like, it's cool, it's a good set, you know, like, things are awesome, but at the same time, just be realistic. The fact that, hey, like, people are gonna be, this thing's gonna be reprinted. There's a lot of copies out there. There's just a lot of the boxes available, right? I did the math. I said like about 300,000 collector's boosters are out there, I think. So I don't think the price should really be higher than $200, even if basically there are serialized cards. And it's proven now, basically, that Brothers War has been dumped on Amazon for 171.5, so 172, let's say. What's even more drastically amazing about Brothers War being dumped on Amazon is that it's not the 3. So normally these Amazon Prime Day deals are limited 3 per account. Brothers War, surprisingly, for whatever reason, you can buy 20 per user. So does Amazon just like got everything else? I mean, is this like a Fab Monarch, first edition situation where Amazon got like half of the inventory but didn't tell anybody about it? So everyone over here is saying, hey, Brothers War is actually short printed or whatever, and there's like low boxes, so they're paying higher prices. Plus there's serialized cards, so you got to pay even higher prices. And now, of course, Amazon's like, no, we're just going to let you know that we have a lot. In fact, we have so much, you can buy 20 at 171. A lot of you might be thinking right now, this is ridiculous. It's like, you're fine. Stores are fine. They're not fine. Stores, if they're buying Brothers War today, would have to pay about $180 to $190, that range of price from distribution. So they're going to distribution. They're paying, let's say, $185 average for Brothers War, and Amazon's over here dumping the product for $171. Even if the stores bought from Amazon, they would pay maybe at even or a little bit lower than what they paid to distribution for the same product. That's not a good thing, okay? And it also proves my point, which is serialized cards doesn't save you. Look, if the print run is high, there's a lot of boxes out there. No matter how you serialize cards, whatever, it's not going to save the boxes. So here's another proof, right? Like, you guys all know it's dumped at 171. Go buy it. If you think I'm wrong, right, and Brothers War is worth a lot of money, go buy 20. Go buy 100, boxes of these things, right? Make 5 Amazon accounts, buy 20 each, max out your credit cards, go for it. You won't do it because this is signaling that maybe there's more, right? Like, and that's the problem. So there's nothing inherently wrong with Amazon. By the way, there's plenty of other products dumped. I just don't have time to cover everything. And also Amazon's pretty smart because they're kind of trickling this stuff out. It's not like they dump everything in the morning. Every couple hours there's a new deal that appears, and some of the deal gets sold out. Whether it's actually sold out, we don't know, but at least they take it off from their like Prime Day deal side, right? To make it look like products moving through. Who knows? Anyways, no matter how much we think like, this is good deal, like if you're a player, whatever, it's great for you because you can have product at a cheap price. You got to understand there's a big problem here. And Wizard of the Coast is like too dumb or too ignorant or too like on their high horse or too high and smoking whatever they're smoking to understand that this long term is really bad for you, right? You're not just losing confidence of players who go to pre-release and pay like $200 for a Dominaria Remaster box, right? You're losing those people because they're looking at this and saying, every single set, I pay this price, and if I just wait 4 months, I pay this price, and it's half price or whatever, right? Difference. You're also pissing off LGSs. Is Amazon your new LGS? Are there players playing on Amazon? Is that where everyone's going to be? It's so stupid. I mean, when Wizard does this and loses confidence in stores, no wonder. Why do you think stores are buying less Magic? Why do you think stores are pissed at you? Why do you think this keeps happening to you? Are you the special child, or you're like doing everything so amazingly that stores love you? No. Basically, LGSs look at Magic like this. You got to carry the product because if you don't carry it, players are going to get mad and they're going to say you're bad LGS for not having Magic. But beyond that, beyond the pre-release weekend, if you buy singles as a store, right, and you don't sell those things, hot potatoes, within like a week, you're losing money. If you buy sealed product as a store and you don't sell those things within the first month or so of the product release, you're losing money, right? look across. I mean, I see on TCG Player, there's plenty of stores selling Dominaria remasters at 120-ish. Again, a little higher than Amazon, because obviously Amazon's the biggest LGS out there. They're losing money, and they don't even care. They just want to get this toxic asset out off of their books, right? I've talked to stores in Canada. I've talked to stores here in the US. Plenty of stores tell me the exact same story. Too much Dominaria remaster was printed, right? You think just because you did a great job with Time Spiral Remaster that Dominaria Remaster would do the same? No. You know why Time Spiral Remaster was such a successful product? Because it wasn't really printed heavily. No, also, I mean, not having like a bunch of lines of product helped a lot too, right? But still, it was just not printed heavily. And that helped a ton for the product. The issue now with Magic is like there's a release every month, right? Almost on average, I think it's one release per month of a new product. So players don't have time to even enjoy what they have. And they're on to the next thing. And between all the product releases, they're not coming back on print runs. So if you don't believe me, right? Originally, we've been talking about Modern Horizons 2. And I recently have acquired some Modern Horizons 2. And I basically was thinking Modern Horizons 2 is at the point of the end of the print run. My thinking is that probably this is the end. This is going to be, we're done with it finally. And I can offer it to the patrons at a certain price. And it's like, hey, you're safe to hold these things long term. And I don't know, like just open them if you want, but also whatever. This is the last time you can get Modern Horizons 2 at a certain price, right? That's my thinking. Well, I was wrong, right? I thought this was the final print run. There was a bunch of Modern Horizons 2 print runs, etc. Well, I got my hands on the boxes today from this weekend from a pretty big distributor. And guess what? You want to know what the printed date on those boxes are? 2021, March or April. Basically, they were printed the same year that Modern Horizons released. I knew this because I saw on the box right away it says Made in Japan. And we all know Made in Japan, Magic cards, first of all, have better quality. The cards feel much nicer. The print is much more cleaner. No smeared ink and all that stuff. But more importantly, Made in Japan, that print run is always the first print run. So for your standard draft boosters, for those kind of things, right? Nowadays, I think for collector's boosters as well, the print in Japan, Made in Japan ones are the first runs, which means Modern Horizons 2 was so overprinted that at this point, we're still working through the initial print wave. I don't even think there was a reprint. I think they printed everything up front and they unloaded, pushed it all to the stores. Now, this is for the set boosters. There might have been reprints for the draft boosters. I'm not sure because I'm not going to buy any of those right now. I have plenty of them. So who knows? This right here is the problem. Wizards of the Coast, too much products, and they basically just have to keep dumping on Amazon, right? The positive so far that I'm seeing, and I think everyone can recognize this at least, right, is that there are no dumps, at least from what I can tell, of products from Phyrexia all be one till now, right? I see some stores out there, not Amazon, but other stores dumping like March the Machine Aftermath bundles, right? Or March the Machine pre-release kits, but that's fine. This is all normal standard stuff. After the pre-release season, people aren't really interested in that stuff, especially nowadays, people are probably drafting or playing or pre-releasing Lord of the Rings sets. So, and they're probably looking forward to Wilds of Eldraine or Commander Masters or Doctor Who set coming later this year. So you can see that the player's wallet is definitely fatigued and there's no time to even like recover, right, before they have to buy the next set or I guess miss out. So at this point, my recommendation to you is this. You got to remember, Magic is a game, and you should treat it as a game. Let the stupid investors like myself actually put real money into Magic, and you enjoy the fruit of the fact that, well, after a standard set releases, if you just have the patience to wait about a month, all the cards will be much cheaper, buy into the cards then, and you could do one of two things. You could let it ride and slowly grow, or guess what? Buy a playset so you can play the game. Highly recommend you always go to your, LGSs, whatever, go to the pre-release events and have fun with all the players and that kind of stuff. And that's what Magic really should be. It's a community thing, right? And if you want to hold boxes long-term or you want to have boxes available so that you can draft with friends and whatnot, I recommend just honestly buy during Amazon Prime Days and Black Friday and those kind of deal events. Because obviously that's when you can get the best price. And it's at such a ridiculously low price that even me, where I have the ability to go and acquire a product directly from distribution, I cannot beat those prices. I can't. No LGS in the country can beat those prices. Not even Channel Fireball or Card Kingdom. I mean, I know they have preferential pricing. There's no way they can beat those prices. And that's what it is. So that's all I got to say about this whole topic. Is the Amazon dump this year crazy? No, but it is signaling to me that there was way too much product printed, definitely in 2021. And we are still, or 2022, 2021, and we're still recovering from that, right? And we're still working through all that product that's been there. I think earlier, by the way, there was like Strixhaven, a bunch of draft boosters, I think like of Midnight Hunt or whatever. There's a bunch of them, right, that were available. Dominaria United actually had a, that's right, Dominaria United collector's boosters. I picked up some of those. I think they were dumped for at around like 107 or something, plus tax and shipping, all that stuff. So yeah, like look, throughout the whole day, lots of deals. I suspect there will be more deals tomorrow as well. Not as much as today, definitely. This is usually that pattern. For the 2-day sale, they front load a lot of the good deals today, right? And there's less deals tomorrow or whatever. But still, you're going to expect to see some more stuff being dumped. Buy what you like. The pricing is really good. Just buy what you like. You're going to be fine long term, right? As long as you crack open it, whatever. But what we now know, serialized cards can't save you. And if you print way too much product, you're going to have to sell it for cheap. And that's the reality, whether we're talking Brothers War, whether we're talking March of the Machines, which, by the way, I'm surprised I didn't see it dumped. It's kind of interesting. Or even, dare I say it, Lord of the Rings, the most successful set of this year. You think Lord of the Rings won't be dumped now that the One Ring's out? I know, a lot of people probably looking at me and saying, Mark, of course they're not going to dump it. The sales are going through the roof. You can't even get any collector's booster of this stuff. Yeah, but remember, there's a lot out there. You can't fight math, guys. There's 250K at least collector's booster boxes out there. How many of them do you think have already sold? I can guarantee you not all 250K. I can also guarantee you that a lot of them are probably still at Wizard Warehousing or maybe Amazon. Just they can't really dump it right now because, you know, they got another Lord of the Rings set coming in the winter, right? So you can't just like short sell your stuff now because it'll lose confidence. But who's to say maybe Black Friday you can't do some sort of like deal, or maybe earlier next year or middle of next year we can see some Lord of the Rings, you know, dumps as well. Honestly, I just wish WotC would stop printing Magic products so heavily. And if they cut the print runs, they're going to do a lot better. And that's the thing. I think they don't understand this. It's fairly simple. If you want to print like you do now, release less sets, release less products. If you want to release the product like you do now, reduce print runs. But you can't do both. You can't have it all. Your player base is not going to support that. And here's the honest truth. No matter whether you hate Magic or hate me or love me, whatever, the fact is, especially this year, more than ever, I've seen, Magic is bleeding players, and is bleeding players pretty fast. And that's going to spell trouble in the future. And the thing is, like, a lot of this kind of stuff, when you first start, it's not super fast, right? And you don't hit, like, critical mass. But the problem is once you hit critical mass, it's already too late to turn it around. So they're going to say, well, we lost like, 2% of players. Who cares, right? But if you start hitting like higher and higher in that trajectory, and the rate of change is much higher, you're losing players faster because they're just not interested. There's better card games out there. There's better card games that treat players better. There's better card games that treat stores better. God forbid, there's better card games that treat people who spend money on the card game better. What do you think is going to happen to Magic long term? If, basically it's like this, right? Imagine you have two girlfriends. One slaps you in the face, doesn't even have sex with you, makes you buy all the shit for her, and then just whatever, right? And the other one loves you, treats you right, cooks you a nice meal, and then, do whatever you want. Which one are you going to have? Which one are you going to, be with? It's pretty obvious. And a lot of players are looking left and right and start kind of considering their choices. Yes. Does that other girlfriend have is she the hottest person ever? No, right? Not right now. Maybe in the future she will be. But long term, Wizards of the Coast, you got to start understanding. You are no longer king, and no king rules forever. All right, Mark, Solo Games, I'm out. Stay classy.